What's going on YouTube? R to the double E dash to the ZON coming at y'all once again. Doing a quick video just giving my thoughts and my impressions on Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze since it's been about a week, a little bit over a week since it released, and since you saw my last video on where I unboxed it and just let you know how excited I was to play that game. This is going to be just a, not a review. My review's coming up soon. My review's probably coming up later on today. But this is just my first impressions after playing the game, from the last time you guys heard from me. What can I say, man? First and foremost, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is just a ridiculously good 2D, 2.5D action-adventure platformer. It's the first big game of the year for Nintendo, and I must say, it does not disappoint whatsoever. It lives up to the hype in all ways possible and even more. Man, first and foremost, what I gotta say about this game is just the level design and the creativity that Nintendo and Retro put forth on this title. Man, some people reviewed it. Like, I remember Game Explain reviewed it, and while I love Game Explain, and I think their reviews are usually amazing, and the review was on point. It's a great game. They said something that just to me is not true. The game is not easier or less difficult than Donkey Kong Country Returns. It's just not. This game is vicious. Especially if you're trying to do the completionist style, like you're trying to get all the puzzle pieces, trying to get all the K, O, and G letters, and to do all the bonus rounds. It is punishingly difficult, but it's never even near frustrating, like overly frustrating. It is a delight to play. The game design and level design is done so well that, like you've heard so many people say before, if you mess up, if you fall through a pit or you die, it's because the level design was done so cleverly and so well, so deviously that it got you. It's not bad controls. It's not anything that you fault the game for. It's just amazing platforming level design. The music, like I said in my previous video, the original composer is back. One of the original composers is back from the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy on the Super Nintendo, and it shows. The music is engrossing. It raptures you from the very beginning of the game. You find yourself humming the music, especially the main theme. There is an overlying main theme song to the game that you hear in the intro movie. And you hear it also in later levels in the game, and then in different variations, but it's the same theme song. That song is it's epic, man. I mean, the music in this game, you cannot speak better about than I have. I mean, it's just amazing. The level design, like I said, the fact that you can use the 4 playable characters. You play single player mode, you will always be Donkey Kong because let's face it, the game is about him. But you always have a sidekick that you also manipulate and control. That either that usually ties along on your back between Dixie, Diddy, and Cranky. Dixie by far is the most advantageous player to have with you. Diddy's also got his uses, and Cranky is just awesome, especially with that cane hop that he has. That's kind of like Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales. But yeah, man. I mean, it's just. The levels are designed so well that sometimes you need a certain sidekick, sometimes you might need Dixie, or you might need Cranky to reach one of the K, O, and G letters, or one of the puzzle pieces, or what have you, or even get through one of the obstacles. One of the jumps in the game, you might need Dixie for that maximum distance. That without her, you might not make that jump at all. So just very well done, man. Music, or the graphics, the look in this game is just one of the most beautiful looking Wii U games, and the system continues to impress. For people who say that it's not as powerful as the other 2 systems, it might not be spec for spec, but I'll tell you this: it makes some gorgeous looking games. It's more than enough power under that hood for developers to maximize, as a game like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze has shown off. 2D side-scrolling platformer with such depth and such a life in the levels, and such clarity, such beautiful animations. I mean, there's not much more that I can say about this game. I mean, you'll hear my review, like I said, probably later on today, if not tomorrow, where I'll get into much more detail as to how great this game really is. But I just figured I'd give you guys my first impressions. I've played through most of the game now as far as storyline goes. I'm in the last world, which is Donkey Kong Island. When you finally get back there and it's frozen over, and I'm in like maybe the 1 or 2 levels before the final boss fight. So I've played enough of the game where I can do a competent review and really tell you all the insight about this game that you need to know if you're thinking about getting it, or if you want to know how good it really is. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is just epic, man. It is a must-have for the Wii U crowd, and I'm just loving it, man. And with the huge backlog of games that I have now, like, you know, I have to finish Assassin's Creed 4, I have to finish Batman Arkham Origins, I have to finish Wind Waker HD, I have to finish Sonic Lost World. With that backlog, that gets delayed even more because this game, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, is absorbing all of my game time. I mean, I have played nothing but Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for a straight week. In there, I might have touched Assassin's Creed Black Flag once or twice for a limited amount of time, and I barely got to play some Batman Arkham Origins. But really, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is where it's at. That game is just absorbing all of my playtime, and it's a must-have, man. So there you have it. Those are my impressions on the game. You will have my in-depth review coming up later on today, if not tomorrow, like I said. So God bless y'all and stay gaming. Peace.